and the relationship became threatened. Yes, the story is that my partner, my husband, we have been living very well, happily, without any problem. We just married and found out that the family is a very closely knitted together family, and they love themselves and they do everything together in common. And I really loved the way they behave, and I was accepted in their midst, and I was happy, and I couldn't have asked for more. My first pregnancy came along, and it was a thing of joy. Everybody was happy for me. I was communicating with every member of my husband's family, the senior sister, the three senior brothers, and the two junior brothers. They were all in happiness. They were all in joy. They were all rejoicing with me. At the time I was supposed to put to bed, my mom, because my elder sister put to bed at the same time, and so she couldn't come to take care of me as tradition demands. She had to take care of my sister that put to bed and ask one of my siblings to come and take care of me as per the tradition. Because my mother-in-law is sick, she has a problem with her leg. She was being prepared for a particular surgery, and I wasn't even thinking that she could make it to come and take care of me when I put to bed. But somehow, because of the relationship we have, because of how much love we share, she decided to come. When she told me that she was coming to take care of me, or at least to spend some time with us when I put to bed, my joy knew no bounds. I was overjoyed. I quickly told my husband, please, Mama says she wants to come, and please go and pick her up. He went ahead and brought my mother-in-law, and we're together in the house happily. So as that went on, one day, when I put to bed, my sister that was with us took the baby, went outside, and nurtured the baby to sleep. After a while, she took the baby inside the room and handed over to Mama. Mama carried the baby. After a while, she called us to come and tell the baby that the baby had slept. We went and took the baby and led the baby to sleep. She said she wanted to stay in the room or in the sitting room, that she wanted to relax a little bit. My sister and I went to the balcony. We were sitting there at the balcony, talking, gisting, laughing, having a good time. All of a sudden, the NEPA brought back light. In my country, we have this light issue. They take the light and bring it on from time to time. So when they brought the light, I found out that the light was on. I quickly went back into the room, to the sitting room, to put my phone to charge. When I got to put my phone to charge, I saw Mama sitting there in the sitting room, moody, with her eyes all swollen, crying, shedding bitter tears, sobbing. I was alarmed. Mama, what happened to you? What's the problem? Is your leg paining you? Are you having pain again in your legs? Remember, I remember that we were planning to go and carry out a surgery on the leg. So I automatically assumed it was the leg that was the issue. I was like, Mama, why didn't you tell me the leg was becoming a problem? Why didn't you tell me if you were in pain? For me to do something, to know what to do about it. At least I could have bought some medication for you or do something. Why didn't you tell me? I went to tell her, Mama, what is the problem? She said I should not touch her. She bit off my hand. Said I should never touch her again in my life. I was alarmed. Mama, what happened? I thought she was joking, whether the pain, maybe because I touched her wrongly or something, maybe the pain was severe. I now looked at her close. I said, Mama, you can tell me what the problem is. Is the pain that bad? For me to stretch out my hand again to touch her. She said that she has warned me that I should never touch her again. That until the day she's put to bed, the day she's laid to rest, I should never talk to her again. I should never have anything to do with her again. In short, I should call my husband. He should come and take her home. That she was not going to spend the night under my roof again. I was surprised. This Mama, I was happy. Meanwhile, she planned to spend 2 weeks. As she came, she planned to spend 2 weeks. She was just barely 3 days. And when this thing happened, I was surprised. Mama, what happened? What went wrong? What did I do? Meanwhile, I gave her the breakfast I served her was traditional soup and swallow, because that was what she said she wanted. When I served her the food, she said I should come and remove some meat, that there was too much meat and fish inside, and that there was too much. I should come and reduce it. I thought, okay, Mama, don't worry, just go ahead and eat. When you finish, I will eat the remaining one. To show you how that there was no problem at all. So at the end of the day, when she finished eating, she said she was done. It was the remnant of her food that I ate. So there was no premonition, there was no clue, there was no idea. I had no information, I had no imagination of what could have gone wrong within that period. I had no idea. I pleaded with Mama. Mama said she was adamant, said she wasn't going to sleep under the same roof with me on that date. My sister that was there to take care of me also came in. We all two have joined forces to ask her, what is the matter, Mama? What is the problem? What went wrong? What did we do wrongly? What offended you? Is there any problem? Mama said she was not going to tell anybody anything. All she wanted was her to be taken home. We didn't have any choice than to call my husband back. My husband came back and he told him what happened. He asked me, what was it that happened? I told him the whole truth. He didn't believe me. He took me into the room and said, darling, he says, there's nothing I cannot do for you. He said, no. Can you look at me in the eyes and tell me exactly what transpired between you and my mom? Why is my mom suddenly demanded that she should be taken back home and that you should never talk to her again till the day she passes on, and that she doesn't want to have anything to do with it? What happened? What happened? What happened? I told my husband that if I knew, that I wish I knew what went wrong, I could have gone to correct it. That I didn't know. That even without knowing what went wrong, that I had started pleading with Mama to forgive me if I had offended her in any way, and that Mama was adamant that I didn't know what went wrong. So my husband called Mama inside, pleaded with her, Mama, what did my wife do? She may have offended you. Can you please tell me? I will apologize to you on her behalf. Mama said she didn't have the strength to do so much talking. She didn't want to talk to anybody or concern anything. All she wanted was for her to be taken to her husband's house, that she wanted to go home, that she didn't want to stay again, and that issue, that the wife should be warned never to talk to her again for the rest of her life. That the day she will pass on, she should never come to her burial. What? What a ceremony that was supposed to be joyous, something that was supposed to last for 2 weeks, enjoyment that she was supposed to fraternize, enjoy their stories, his stories, and with the mother-in-law, cut short like that for no reason at all. The husband didn't have any choice than to take the mom home. He drove her home, and when they got to the village, she asked Mom, can you still tell me what is happening? What went wrong? What did my wife do? Where did she offend you? Mama said she didn't want to bring any problem between any husband and wife, that he should go back and marry his wife, that she wasn't going to say anything, that she wasn't interested. That was how my husband left Mama in the village and came. We didn't know what to do. Within 2 hours, come and see phone calls. People were calling me from east, west, north, and south. All her children, all her relations, they were calling. What did you do to Mama? That Mama had to start complaining that she doesn't want to see you again. What did you say to her? How did you handle her? How did you treat her? I was all answering the same question. I don't know. I wish I knew. Nobody's time to believe me. Even my own husband was like, whether he was not even able to believe it, because it was too dramatic. For it to be something that I didn't have any clue of what went wrong. So that was what happened until I was able to make an explanation. Remember, meanwhile, my husband's only sister, the sister that called, we are too close. I'm very close to the lady. In short, if people are blessed in marriage, I will say that I'm one of those that is blessed, because the way my husband's family accepted me, the way they all love me, even the way they said that mothers-in-law are trouble or sisters-in-law are a problem. My sister-in-law happens to be the best friend I have. So when she called and was not happy that Mama left my house in anger, I didn't know what to tell her. I was dumbfounded. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to do. But life went on. So it was during Easter, this Easter that just passed. This is April, this is still April. This Easter, that when we got home, there was something that needed all of us to go home. There's a kind of a ceremony we needed to go home to do. When we got home, that was when the issue of Mama came up again. The eldest son of my husband, of my brother, or the eldest brother of my husband, called a meeting, said that he will want to sort it out, that the truth should be told. What went wrong, Mama? What went wrong when you went to visit the baby that just put to bed? What happened? Mama said she wasn't going to say anything. That all she knew was that the lady's parents should be brought. That her parents should be brought. That she was not going to say anything until she brought her parents. That was when she would say whatever thing she wanted to say. She now mandated me to go and bring my parents. Wow, what a joy. I was very happy to go and bring my parents, since I have been eager to know what is this that I did. What did I do wrongly? Why should my mother-in-law suddenly turn against me, and everybody in the family is like beginning to doubt me, even my husband beginning to doubt me? I was eager to know what was the problem. I quickly ran to my parents' place. Papa, Mama, they say you should come. My mom called me and said, what is it that happened? Please, did you offend your mother-in-law anyway? Tell me the truth, so that I'll know how to pacify, so I know how to plead. If you don't tell me, if I don't know, I won't know where to come in. I don't know how to come in. I said, Mama, you know me. I'm your daughter. You know my tendencies. he didn't tell me to be insultive. He didn't tell me to be rude. He didn't tell me to be disrespectful. I have never disrespected my mother-in-law. I have never been rude to her. I don't know what I did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I did anything at all. When my mother got satisfied that I was saying the truth, she agreed to go with us. My father came along. When we got to my in-laws place, my place, I sat down, everybody sat down. They were now saying Mama should say what was her problem. So Mama now said that me and my sister, that we were sitting outside and she was in the room. As she was just coming out to stay with us or to do something outside, she overheard us talking about her, condemning her, calling her a witch, saying that is why she has a problem with her leg. That is why she's walking like, what do I say, limping. That's why she was limping. That it was her wickedness that made her to be that to develop a bad problem in her leg that's making her to be limping, and that she must be a witch. That she's a very wicked person. That they wish that she should buy. So when she had that she withdrew. She crawled back into her shell. She didn't know what to do. She was like, "What? How can this girl be this evil? How can this girl wish me this bad? So that she wishes I should die." Even if she didn't say it with her mouth, why didn't she condemn the sister for saying that? Why did she allow the sister to be saying all those things? Was she the one that was the one that made her leg to be paining her, for her to be walking, limping and walking, that she felt like the whole world should open to collapse on her? She felt that the air should open for her and swallow her up, and that she went into the room and started crying. That was why she said that she should also want to do anything to do with her again. She should never talk to her. She should never have anything to do with her. The day she will pass on, she should never come to her burial or anything. And that's what. Do you know what? This girl started crying. I am the girl. I started crying. I started weeping. I started shedding tears. I said, God. I quickly ran to my father-in-law's grave place, the place he was laid to rest. I quickly ran to that place and packed sand from that place traditionally. And I was swearing, saying, if I ever wished Mama evil, if I ever done anything against Mama, knowingly or unknowingly, or no, if I ever spoken any bad word against Mama, if I ever said anything that she has a bad leg or that she's a witch or she's the one that caused or she's wicked, that this land, that this soil I picked from my father-in-law's grave should cause me not to see the day after today, that should not even wake up from sleep, and that every bad thing, that whatever good thing, as I was swearing on cursing myself and saying so many bad things about myself, my sister-in-law, the one I said is my best friend, she came and hit the sand out of my hand and said, are you mad? Are you not? What's the problem with you? Is it your father's grave? Is it your father's grave? Is it your father that is in that grave? Why are you cursing yourself this way? Why are you cursing out on yourself? What's the problem? Has it got to that point? If you have an issue, why don't you sort it? Must you go to that issue? What's the problem? Why are you cursing yourself? I started crying uncontrollably. I started weeping. They were pacifying me. And I said that what happened was that, where's that we said those things. We said somebody was limping. Somebody had a bad leg. Somebody must be a witch. Somebody must be the person's wickedness that made the person to have that bad leg, to be limping, to be walking. That they said all those things. And that they were saying those things not because of Mama, not even connection with Mama, but in connection with their eldest sister's wife. That her sister she was gisting with, that her sister that came to take care of her when she put to bed, that she lived with her eldest sister, eldest brother. She lived with them. The wife of this their eldest brother is the person that they are talking about. That when this her sister went to live with them, that there was no wickedness that woman didn't show to the girl. That there was nothing bad that happens to people that the woman didn't do to the girl. And that was why they were all bitter against that woman, saying that their eldest brother's wife is a witch and that she is a very bad woman, that they wish her, and that it was because of her wickedness that she was having problem with her leg, that she's walking, and that they call her in their family. That it was their eldest brother's wife that they were talking about. It wasn't Mama. It was not, they didn't even mention Mama at all in the matter. That true, they said something about somebody that had a bad leg, somebody that the bad leg must have been as a result of her wickedness, and that they were wishing that she should buy. That because of her wickedness, that the family is shattered, and that because of her they didn't progress. Their brother and their eldest brother is useless because of the same woman. That they were talking about that woman. It wasn't Mama. She now said, Mama, why didn't you ask me? Mama, why didn't you talk? Mama, why didn't you communicate? If you had told me, if you had asked me, Mama, I would have explained to you that it's not you, that is our eldest brother's wife we're talking about. So that was what happened. So when they heard that, my mom that came to pacify or to beg for me started crying. She started shedding tears. People now started holding her. Mama, what's the matter? What's the problem? Mama, why are you crying now? Your daughter is crying. He said she has to cry. That she has to cry, that she didn't know. That why she was crying wasn't because of what was done to her daughter. But because that lady's presence in her family has caused a lot of trouble. That her condition is less than subservient level because of that singular woman. That since that woman came into her family, that her family has not become the same. But that the pain she was having isn't what the woman is doing to her family, but that the woman's atrocities, the woman's evil can be made to be carried over to her daughter's marriage is what she's crying about. That the evil the woman did, that is extended to her daughter's family, her daughter's marriage, is what is making her to cry. So how far would that woman's wickedness go? How long more? What more how much more bad things would that woman do to her family and to her children? He said yes, that lady that they call her Pokri. Yes, that maybe it's because her wickedness, that's why she has a bad leg and she's walking like that. She's one that they call Pokri. That everybody in their family knows that her mama should have asked questions. That up till now that woman still has that bad leg, and that her eldest son went and brought that girl. That the moment she set eyes on that girl, she asked the son, my son, of all the women in the whole world, there's none that you want, is this one? The son said yes. And because she cannot say no to a son's decision over marriage, that was why she allowed him to marry her. And but that since the lady married this woman, the son has not been a normal human being to date, and that her evil and her atrocities has affected so many things in the family adversely. For it to be affecting her daughter in her marriage again now is what is making her to be shedding tears. So that is what happened. It wasn't Mama that the girl was talking about. So I wasn't talking about Mama, but was made to suffer in my marriage because of Mama didn't ask, she didn't communicate with me, I didn't know, and I didn't explain myself. That's what brought us to the home, to the family meeting. And at the end of the day, my husband's eldest brother stood up and started apologizing to my parents, saying they should please forgive them. That they now, my sister-in-law now was shouting at Mama, it was a big deal about that thing. Is that what you now made to become this big? Why didn't you tell her? Why didn't you tell us what was the matter? You made a big deal out of something that was just so simple. Simple, telling her that she was calling you names over your predicament. Why didn't you tell us? Mama said she was sorry. So they now pleaded with my parents that she should. My husband's eldest brother now gave my parents some good money that they should plead. They should not be offended. They should not tell anybody that story. That was a shameful thing. That is something they could have handled in-house without being taken outside. That it was a pity it involved them. They should please try and understand. My parents said they understood and just pleaded with Mama to please take me like her own daughter. That does she want to tell them that if it was her own daughter, biological daughter, she would have allowed another person to hear that I am like her daughter? She should be able to scold me, correct me, give me, lash out at me if I should make a mistake. That I'm supposed to be. She should take me as her child. That she shouldn't have allowed this thing to get to another person's ears. That she should please accept me and tell me whatever thing, any mistake I make, she should correct me. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. So that was what happened. The communication gap was what brought about this thing. If Mama had told the girl, if Mama had told me that she heard what we were saying, we would have explained to her, Mama, it's not you. Because everybody in my family, they know that story. That woman is a bad woman, that we call her Pokrepo because of her bad leg. It wasn't my mother-in-law we were talking about. The mother-in-law first, she was what we were talking about, and she made a big deal out of it. So that's the story. What do you think? So that's why my friend and her sister said I should bring this story to the house. We should tell everybody that please don't they emphasize on communication. Even if it's not love relationship, any other kind of relationship, be able to communicate your mind. Don't assume the other person knows what they're saying or knows what you have in your mind. Speak up, talk to them, talk to him or her, explain to him or her in a way, in a language that he or she will understand, and let him also make an explanation. Let him also, or him or her also, say her own mind in that matter. That is when you be sure that you have achieved something. That communication gap there was what brought up by the whole of this chaos. Okay, so if they had told this story, if the woman had told the lady, this is what we did, the lady would have explained, Mama, it's not you we are talking about. The whole matter would have ended back then. The 2 weeks holiday she planned to have, she would have still enjoyed her holiday and everybody would have been happy. They would have invited the whole family. So please still drop your idea, your own views, your own conclusion, your own imagination, or your own thinking at the comment section, so that people will get to hear and learn and get counsel, because communication is something I've been laying emphasis on this year. Seriously, lay emphasis on communication, to be able to communicate effectively with your partner, with your friends, in your relationship. Communication is vital. Not just communication like speaking, but trying to make sure the other person has understood what you're saying, because communication are two ways. You decode, the other person will encode. Okay, when I decode and speaking, the other person should be able to encode, understand me. That is when communication is complete. If it's not like that, then there's no communication. And we are not just talking about communication, we're also talking about, because the person that you are talking to should be able to listen. Now we are now talking about active listening. We say active listening is you paying attention, waiting for your partner to speak his or her mind and conclude before you speak up. You don't ask questions, you don't contribute, you don't even, remember, when we are communicating, it's not only your mouth you use in communicating. You can even use your head or your facial expression during communication. You don't do those until communication is concluded, before you can now speak your own. That is when you'll be able to make proper use of the word communication, or that's when you would have done the real thing. So you, if you are there, you want to come up to the screen, tell us your name, your age, your location, blog group, genotype, what you do for a living, and let's see what you can do together. You can come out and add your own ideas, your own contribution, or make your own observation. Or if you want a partner, anytime where life is start for matchmaking, you can come up to the screen, tell us the kind of partner you want. Your partner, if he or she is there, communication will take place, connection will take place immediately. Thank you for your presence. This is Catchy Vibe Matchmaking and Love Relationship Platform. We come here to find connection, find love, find relationship, find soulmates, and learn how to make a relationship to be sweet, enjoyable, vibrant, and lasting. We also collect counsel. We also give counsel. We also hear stories, true life stories. If you have any issue, any challenge in your relationship, we can bring it up here. We all look at it together and learn together and grow together. Thank you for your presence. I appreciate your presence. See you same time next week. Bye.